Ladies Car Care Talk Show. My name is Cindy Calderon, and today I'm having a very special guest. She's a founder of Mobs, and she will tell you a little bit of what is that. But I really want to introduce her because I feel that she have a very powerful story and what she do and everything. So I just want to do this interview very special because what she has to give is very special. So thank you, Aria, for Aria. I'm saying it that right? Your
Aria.
name?
Aria.
Yeah. Okay. Well, welcome to having. I mean, so glad to having you. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what do you do?
So like you said, my name is Aria Leighty, and I'm the founder of the Mob Nation, which is a national alliance of mom-owned businesses. And I founded that in 2012. I'm also a business mentor for small women business owners, women small business owners, creative consultant. So I mix a lot of like creative consulting, mindset coaching, and my overall experience of over a decade of working with women-owned and mom-owned businesses to just help them up level and step into their zone of genius and make more money. And that's what I do. And I'm happy to be here.
That's amazing. And let me tell you, I'm part of this community that she has, and it's just incredible. It has changed a lot of mindset that I had, and it is been helping me as a mompreneur. That's the way that we usually refer to us because I have 4 kids. And it's not easy, obviously, to have a business from home and having your kids. I mean, it's a whole new level. And when you start being with different people that are in the same shoes or where you are, I think when that you have that community, it's better to grow together. So that's why one of the reasons that I really want to have you here on the podcast, just to share that because it's just incredible. And you're telling me that you actually coach about money. Money has a lot of different mindsets and stereotypes that we have to break in. But can you tell me a little bit about more deep of exactly how you help women in this area?
So everything that I do within the Mob Nation and then my business mentorship practice, all of it is the idea of getting more wealth into the hands of women, because I know that when women control more of the wealth and they have, the wealth in their hands, they can make the world a better place and completely change the world as we know it, especially moms, so that we can change it for the next generation. We just have such an ability to change our spending power. It's shown that women support local businesses more often, and there's just this huge trickle effect of every time that a woman can get more wealth, have her needs met, be sustained, have a sustainable and thriving business, and how that contributes to the economy through the outsourcing, the spending power, just the fact that when we're able to be in our power and be able to make those decisions from a sustainable and comfortable place, and when we are happy and our needs are met, then we are helping heal the collective and inspire other women to do the same as well.
Yeah, that is so true because I see it all the time. I do own a repair shop as well. And one of the things that I notice in my client list is that 65% of my clients are females. And there's a lot of things because we usually, when we think on cars, we think, oh, men are the ones that are driving, men are that know more about cars. But it's very hilarious just to see the statistics because on the United States only, 70% are females who are purchasing a car in the United States.
Yeah.
That means there's more women driving on their cars, and most of all, there's a higher percentage of people that who make decisions to make their cars, for repair cars and all of that, are women.
Yeah.
So that is just a huge statistic and just come to complete what you're saying right now, that actually we are the ones who talk more about business. We are want to share more about the business and the experience that we have with the other businesses.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that there's so many industries that we think are male dominated. People think that, businesses in general are male dominated. And so it's really important for women like you and women like us to really flip the script on the conversations that we're having about like the decision making power that women do have now, especially this like new generation of women, and the skill sets that we have and the knowledge that we have, so that we can have seats at the table and be brought into the different conversations, because we're left out so much, yet we have so much of the spending power and the decision power, especially within our own families. Mom makes the choices for where the money goes and the way that we spend. So yeah, it's really cool, everything that you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. And one of the things that actually women struggle, and I seen it on my customers, that is make that decision where the money is going. Because when it comes to car maintenance, there's a big difference between do your maintenance on your car and do repairs on your car. Maintenance is something that we have to do on a schedule because the car, we have to do it. It's maintenance. But when we miss that maintenance, it's when it comes repairs. And a lot of times are unnecessary repairs because we forgot to do the maintenance.
Yeah.
And when I ask a lot of my customer why you didn't do your oil change on time, or why you didn't change the brakes on time, the answer is because I didn't have the money, because I didn't know exactly where my money was going, so I wasn't able to save that money for my maintenance on time. So can you help us a little bit and see how we can help this type of people on saying, oh, you know what, I don't really think I have enough money, or I don't really think that I really can spend much money in my own car? Because this is, if we can see it in the perspective that this is not just on the car, this is in a life itself, because we don't have, a lot of people have these stereotypes in mind that they don't have money for a lot of things, and they are not using the money the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, I think that it's interesting. A lot of people just don't even want to look at, they don't want to break open their books and their budgets and see where their money is going. And I do think that there is that mentality of like waiting until something breaks in order to go fix it. And it's the same thing with like self-care and with businesses and making investments. Like sometimes you can't afford not to make those smaller investments along the way. You can't afford not to get the oil change. You can't afford not to pour into yourself and to, spend the money and invest the money on non-negotiable self-care or investments in your business. And then you get to the point of burnout or breakdown, and you're like, oh, okay, I could have spent $39.99 last month, and now I have to spend, $900 to fix this all. So I think that it's important. I mean, I take a look at everything that I have going on, money in, money out, at the beginning of every month, with all of my businesses, within my household, with the different things that I have going on. And I have a specific account where I roll some money over to handle things like that. Like I have an emergency fund, and then I also have like a maintenance fund of things for my house, things for my car, things like my laptop, things that I use all of the time, because I never want to get into that situation where, there's this requirement that I have to go do. There's an emergency thing that I need to go buy, and I don't have the money for it, and you're scrambling. And that ends up costing you more money because you're out of a car, you can't get to work, you can't get to your business meetings, you have to rent a car. Like all of that stuff just starts to pile up because you didn't take time at the beginning of the month to look at everything, make sure that you're putting money aside for those types of emergency situations. And like you said, do the maintenance in life, do the maintenance on your car, do the maintenance on your house, do the maintenance on yourself, on your own person and your mindset and your personal development, so that you don't break down and burn out at the end of just not taking care of yourself and the situations. And then it costs way more in the end.
Yeah, that's totally true. At the end, if we don't take care of those stuff, at the end we pay more money. And I was barely working on my finances lately, and on my in my business, because I mean Latest Car Care is actually a brand new business besides the other one that we have that is a repair shop. And sometimes when we don't see it like clearly, like a picture of what we're spending the money and where the money is going, we don't realize in our minds that actually we're spending so much money.
Yeah.
until we literally see it, and it's so powerful. And I just happened to have that situation in my life a couple weeks ago when I was like, no, I don't think I'm spending so much money in this area, but let me just put everything on paper and see actually the big picture. So when I saw the big picture, it's like, oh, wait a minute, I think I need to fix this area, and I have to fix and make a budget for me in order for me to not to spend much money that I really want to spend much money in that area. But yeah, that's totally true. So tell me how we can actually, let's say there is a audience right now that they don't know anything on where to start, or where they can actually start seeing that or make changes in their lives when it comes to money. What are the things or the advices that you can give them for order for them to start making good decisions where the money goes?
Um, well, I mean, starting just to evaluate what your money mindset is and what your money stories are. Each one of us has a story about money, and that's a lot about what my mentorship and my coaching is. It's like understanding the limiting beliefs and outdated stories that we're carrying around about money, specifically as women. Even more if you're a woman of color, just because we have so many cultural and societal things that are changing and forcing these ideas into our mindset. So I think evaluating that first, making sure that if you aren't able to in your business, like have that money set aside for self-care, for reinvesting in yourself, for being able to take breaks, then you really need to take a look at your pricing structure and make sure that your business is sustainable, because it's supposed to be working for you, not just you working for it. And then connect with, there's so many people that are so great at money. It can be a money coach. I would definitely talk to a financial advisor, get a really great accountant so that you can understand everything that goes in, and really build a team of people that are supporting you through understanding how you feel about money, understanding what you're doing with your money, and understanding how you can make more money and call more money in for your business. And there's so many resources that you can find out there, especially in the mob. If you go in the mob directory, you can find somebody for any of those things to help you on this money journey. But I think it's important to know that you didn't get here overnight, and so this is a process of like reframing your thoughts, stepping into new stories, being able to empower yourself with the tools, just like you empower women to be able to work on their cars. Like you have to work with people that are going to empower you to understand how money works and how it works for you and how you can protect it and attract it.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, definitely. I love that you were saying like how you actually have to work on your thoughts, because I think that's a really powerful thing that every one of us have. I include myself, because I think depends on how our parents raised us regarding of money, on how much lack of money you had when you were growing up. That affects us so much when it comes with the we're adults, and how we spend the money and how we invest the money. Can you just share a little bit about how we can fix that? I know this is a short time, you cannot give us a whole thing, but just, I mean, because I know there's a lot of people out there that have struggled with that area in specific when it comes to all the thoughts that can have in their mind, and saying, oh no, you know what, I'm not capable of doing that specifically because I'm not capable, and I don't have the money, and I'm poor, and I grew up poor, and I'm gonna die poor. You know, I met people like that, and it's scary just to hearing those thoughts.
Yeah. Well, I actually have a money mindset course, and I help a lot of my clients through the process. And the first thing that we do is we sit down and we write out everything that we believe to be true about money, because that can really like get to the point of what your limiting beliefs are. So like a lot of common ones, especially for women, are money is the root of all evil, or money is hard to come by, or I'd rather be rich in love and happiness than rich in money. So a lot of us carry around those stories. So the first step is identifying them and then figuring out where they stemmed from. Typically, it's from our childhood and seeing our parents' relationship with money, seeing the way that it plays out in the media, seeing the way that people talk around you, and then being able to reframe those thoughts into new affirmations. And when those money limiting beliefs pop up, now that you've addressed them, now that you know where they stem from, and now that you know the affirmations, you can really reframe those thoughts like instantly. Like I have to do it constantly. Like I said, it's ongoing work. This is what I do for a living, but it's still stuff that I have to do every time I reach a new income level. It's safe for me to create this income. I'm worthy of this income. I can make money easily. It's allowed to be easy. I don't have to make it hard. My value is not tied into my productivity. Like all of those things are ways that I can reframe the thoughts right as soon as they happen. And another thing that you can do that I really do with my clients is to make a list of all the ways that you can make an impact with your money. So you can buy all locally grown food, which helps the environment. You can buy more sustainable products. You can shop only mom owned. Like all of the things that are important to you that keep that cycle of wealth going, that really you can only do those things if you are in a position that you're making more money and attracting more money and allowing yourself to receive that money. When you can really tap into that energy of like what an impact you can make, then I think that that's what makes all the difference.
Yeah, that is so true. And thank you. Thank you for sharing those tips. I know that, I mean, there's a lot more that we can dig in that topic. So, before that, we let you go, we just have a few minutes more left. But tell me, have you ever had an experience in mechanic shops or with your car that you feel like empowered of doing yourself, or maybe you didn't feel that way when you take your car to the mechanic and they didn't treat you well or something like that? That you want to share?
I don't think I've ever had a positive experience in a car shop, to be honest. Like the only time that I ever um, felt good about going in is if a man was with me, just because of the way that, you know, they tend to mansplain things to you or take advantage of you or try to speak
Yeah.
down to you. So that's why I'm so impressed with what you are doing, because I think that I have a daughter, she's 15, she's going to start driving soon. Like women like you are helping pave the way and blaze the trails for our next generation of girls to be brought up, to be empowered about their own decision making, to feel comfortable using their voice and speaking up, and to have resources that can educate them on these things so they can go in with this toolbox and not be taken advantage of. So again, thank you for what you're doing for the next
Oh, thank
generation of girls.
you. Yeah, you know what? It's so sad to say that, but it's true. I mean, there's a lot of, I mean, the auto industry still need a lot of work out there. I mean, there's good mechanics out there, but it's still there's a lot of shoddy mechanics that try to take advantage of women. And that's why we're trying to work here on Ladies Car Care, just trying to give sources and tools that, like you said, it help the next generation. Maybe with us moms, I mean, we can learn a few things, but we are able to learn and teach our kids for
Yeah.
them to be able to raise their voice and say, hey, you know what, I'm not gonna be intimidated by this mechanic or by that this repair shop and all of that. So I just want to say thank you again for being part of the show. I'm loving you having here, and I hope everyone on the audience is taking notes, because this information was so powerful. And can you tell me where they can find you, where they can find the MOV community and know more about you and what you're doing?
Yeah, you can find me at arialeighty.com, or I'm on Instagram at Aria Leighty. And the Mob Nation is on Instagram as well. And you can also find them online, themobnation.com, and shop our mom owned directory and check out all of our events or join the Alliance, all from that website.
Yay, thank you. Either way, we're going to share those links. So if you check the side notes on this podcast, that we're going to have all her information where you can go and follow her and find this amazing community that I mean, I'm telling you, this is the best community that I've been as a mom of 4 kids doing my business from home. I mean, I think this is a great resource for anyone, either if you are a business owner or you just looking for a directory of people that is you can trust. There's the best directory that they have, because I mean they have so many amazing moms in there that are working together. So thank you again for being here and taking the time for us to share what you're doing. So I just want to say thank you again. And thank you to the audience for being there one more time and listening to our podcast. I'm so excited because I know this episode it's going to be so much help for you all. So thank you again. Have a wonderful rest of your day and see you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to the Ladies Car Care Talk Show. For more resources from Cindy or to join the Ladies Car Care Facebook community, you can follow the links in the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe wherever you're listening and share with your friends.